Welcome. I'm Halcyon and this is the Hug Nation broadcast. Today I want to talk about how to reduce suffering in the world while you are stuck at home. Ram Dass, one of my favorite philosophers, thinkers, humans in history, told a story throughout his years about a frequent conversation that he would have. Because often people would come to him asking with despair in their voices, what is going on in the world? And as a man who lived a long life and lived through all sorts of crises and all sorts of bizarre shifts in politics and culture, he lived through some difficulties. And during difficulties, people would often come to him and say, what the hell is happening? Like, are we going through the birth pains and heading towards something new? Are we headed towards the age of Aquarius, or are we doomed and we're heading towards the apocalypse and Armageddon? And I love his response. He said, I don't know. But what I do know is that if we are headed towards the age of Aquarius, what would I do? I would quiet my mind and I would spend my energy trying to reduce suffering as best I could. Now, if we're headed towards Armageddon, what would I do? I would quiet my mind and try to reduce suffering as best I could. Isn't that relieving? So we don't need to know what's going on, because it doesn't matter. We just gotta quiet our mind and do the best we can, be kind, and try to reduce suffering. So then the question comes, well, I'm stuck at home. How do I reduce suffering in the world? Like, I get that I would like to be making a difference. I would like to be doing something. What can I do to reduce suffering in the world? Number one, start with yourself. Reducing your own suffering is part of reducing the suffering in the world. So self-care is probably the number one thing on your priority list right now. Rest, connection with people, exercise, gratitude practice, doing whatever you can to keep yourself feeling alive and healthy and connected, opening your heart, telling people that you love them, showing appreciation, and practicing gratitude. Self-care is a way to reduce suffering in the world. Number two is follow the basic protocols established for how to minimize transmission of the virus. I'm not going to address the science or the experts or the conspiracy ideas or the alternative questioning of any sort of theory. I do know that if we are trying to reduce suffering in the world, we can do some basic things to try to reduce additional people being infected and increasing the numbers to a point where we overload the hospitals. Maybe that's not entirely necessary. Maybe the masks aren't doing what we thought they were doing. So what? What if they are? Best case scenario, you go to a retail store and some poor schlep who has to work at the grocery store gets saved from your unintentional spreading of sickness. Worst case scenario, you wear a mask for a little while and you demonstrate to your fellow humanity that you are trying to be a part of the team. You're trying to be a part of the reduction of suffering in the world. So that's number two. Number three, look for gifting opportunities. Gifting is such a broad thing. In any way that you can reduce suffering, that you can elevate someone's experience, that you can make someone's burden lighter or someone's day brighter. And that can be almost anything. It can be sharing toilet paper. Now, what I mean, if you hoarded a bunch of toilet paper, sharing some unused rolls. I don't mean like, you know what I mean. It could be making a sign in your window or a chalk drawing or some indication to the world outside that the world is friendlier than it might feel and that we're more connected than it looks. It could be reaching out to friends or family just to say hello, just to send a little text message or a call or a TikTok, if that's what the kids do. I don't know. But little bitty gestures that you are thinking of someone is a way to reduce suffering in the world. And finally, just tuning in and listening to what are your gifts to share. Whether it's resources, if you have extra stuff, if you've got the ability to help a friend out who is struggling with their groceries, if it's the ability to loan out an item that you have and are not using. But the gifts that you have access to are so deep. It's your attention. It is your appreciation. It is your talents. It is training yourself to start to just notice where are there cracks in the world and are there ways that you can fill them. If there's someone lonely, can you let them know that you're thinking of them? If there is someone who is scared, can you let them know that you got their back? If there's someone that doesn't know how they're going to do X, Y, Z, and you might have the ability to help them. That's how you reduce suffering in the world. It doesn't have to be you find a vaccine. It doesn't mean that you go on a crusade to arrest everyone who's not wearing a mask. It can be teeny tiny things. It could be making a mask. It can be showing compassion and kindness even as you are having dialogues about any of this stuff. Let's say you disagree with me and you think I'm giving crazy advice and I am doing damage by recommending people wear a mask in a grocery store. You can reduce suffering by communicating that to me in a way that honors my humanity, honors my intentions, and invites me to have an open-minded dialogue in a place of respect. That's easier said than done right now. But it's another way that we can reduce suffering in the world, even while we're stuck at home. So again, self-care. Number 1, when in doubt, take care of yourself. Because nothing else matters. If you are operating from a deficit, then none of your gifts have weight to them. They're all imbued with resentment or bitterness or guilt. And then the ripples that we create in the world, they're tainted. So, get yourself strong. Get your heart vibrant. Get your gratitude surging. And then let that spill and fill the cracks and give your gifts to the world. That is how you reduce suffering in the world so that it does not matter where we are headed. Either way, you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Quieting your mind, reducing suffering in the world. Thank you. I love you. If you would like to join us at one of the twice daily gratitude circles and group hugs that are at zoom.hugnation.com. That's it. Go to zoom.hugnation.com at 12 noon or 6 p.m. Pacific time and meet the amazing people that are gathering. I'm pretty sure that you are one of those amazing people. And getting to witness the gratitude of people around the world is profound. It is a powerful antidote to the messaging and the news of the day. Additionally, if you would like to support me, you can support me on patreon.com/Halcyon. And you can just subscribe and like this video and help me to get more visibility in the digital algorithms. Or you can just hold me in that embrace, and that's all I need. Thank you. I love you.